Welcome, everyone, to All Women Driven, the podcast where we look into the past to drive women forward in the future in automotive. I'm your host, Sarah Davis. You can find the All Women Driven channel on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. You can also find me on the Lawn MacArthur channel, where we talk all things Ford news, information, updates weekly. Join us for a live stream at 7 p.m. Other channels to check out: Ford Video Guy, All Terrain Nation, Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, and many others. All their links are down below. Go check them out. They're wonderful. Don't forget to like and share where you're listening, and don't forget to subscribe if you are here on YouTube. Um, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are notified when we go live. I try and go every other Thursday, but coming up in the next few weeks, we will be having a video go live every Thursday for our Rebel series. So join us every week to get a new perspective on that as well. So let's get into it. Welcome, everyone. This week's guest is Ashley. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so great.
Yeah. So, Ashley, what do you do in automotive?
So, I am a motorsports driver. I have been competing for over 10 years. Right when I was 18 years old, I went for the professional route of drag racing. Is where I started. It's where my roots are. I grew up doing sand drag racing. That's a whole story in itself, right there. Really cool stuff. So I went from sand drag racing to asphalt drag racing, and today, what I'm maybe a little more well known for is being the driver of the Megalodon Monster Jam truck. And I'm going into my 4th year with Monster Jam doing that, and it has been such a fun ride.
That is awesome. So there's more than one Megalodon truck, is that correct?
That is
So
correct.
how many are there?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And at this very moment, I don't even know because no, it's so cool. Megalodon is, as of the last I heard, the second most popular Monster Jam truck, right behind Gravedigger, which, yeah, everyone knows Gravedigger, right? And so that being said, Monster Jam, we have more than one tour that is going out throughout the world on any given weekend. And when we're in our heat of our season, we have 6 tours that are usually functioning,
Wow.
where at each event you'll see a Megalodon driver. So in the heat of it, at least there are 6 Megalodon drivers and 6 Megalodon trucks that are spread out throughout the whole world. It's not even just here in the United States. We're global. Yeah, they just got back from Singapore over there. So
Wow.
it's really cool the reach that Monster Jam has.
That is awesome. So what area do you usually stick to?
I've been a blessed West Coast girl because I'm a Southern California born and raised, and I'm now going, it sounds like possibly back into my 4th year being on the West Coast.
Okay.
Even though they do, promote it as our West or East Central tours, I get to go everywhere. If it's what it sounds like, there's a chance I might end up all the way over in New York on this tour. So not very West Coast based, but where it starts and where it'll predominantly be.
Okay. That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
So have you always been in automotive, or growing up, have you been in automotive?
So yeah, my background, I was a fan. And this is where I do believe each person who's in the industry has their own story, their own path. I'm not a gearhead. I'm not mechanically inclined. I mean, I know my way around things. I do. I've had to learn the hard way, but that's not where it actually started for me. It started because I loved going out to the drag races, Monster Jam events, to different off-road events with my dad. And it was the sheer adrenaline that I experienced watching the other cars go down the track or whatever course they were on, that it just looked like they were flying. It's they were birds on wheels, and they were
Yeah.
the coolest people ever to me that, I knew that were behind the wheel. And we would spend our days at the tracks, going up to meeting drivers, meeting crew, talking. My dad loved to talk everyone's ear off. So he was one of those who would try and go up and, get the information and
Yeah.
how you guys start. And it's just so fascinating, to take that route. And I
Mhm.
grew up just having this fire inside of me that said, you could do this one day. And I also grew up dancing and doing gymnastics and t-balls.
Okay.
So I was really grateful. My parents, it wasn't like, sometimes some people, which this is true story, have come to me like, did your parents like force you to do this? And it's like, no. Then my mom, if anything, was like, are you sure you want to do this? Giving my mom a heart attack every week and I went out. But no, I grew up, my dad, he didn't have any boys. We joke I'm the son he never had, because I just, like him, followed in his footsteps of being a fan. And he was actually a recreational racer. And hey, I'm going to
Okay.
toot his own horn though. He actually, with his own funding, he was a firefighter, now retired, and contractor.
Okay.
He got enough money together to go top fuel racing in a sand dragster car, which is 300 feet of dirt, and he was going over
Yeah.
200 miles per hour. So my dad was the coolest person in the world when I was like in my 16-year-old era, when he was able to pull that off, and for sure inspired me that I'm like, if my dad could do this for himself, I can get myself to the big stage. And yeah, shortly after I was able to pull off, my first sponsor was actually Gelish nail polish. For all the
Okay.
girlies who know, yeah, my very first sponsor was a nail polish brand, and I brought him out to the NHRA with the pink dragster, and it's been a wild ride since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Um, so did you find it hard to get into it? Or, you were kind of going out there with your dad, so he
Yeah.
was kind of there and around,
Yeah.
but did you find it hard to get into, or, the industry, was it welcoming to a female?
There's two sides to this. It's
Yes.
a double-edged sword, because yes, I had those people that saw that, drive, saw the passion, and, connected with me and were quick to be, helpful and inviting. But then there was the other side that wanted me out as quick as I could get out, kind of energy of, they, didn't take me seriously, who knows the true, mentality they had. But let's just say I felt not welcome, very unwelcome by certain
Yes.
people, and made it very difficult, and made it very hard, to the point where, I mean, I had days where I was like, is this really what I should be doing? And like, not seeing that kind of forward progress, because I came from family. We were always, we found our sponsorship on our own to get out to the track, or, I picked up extra shifts at the deli I worked at. And, we put all our, funding into this, because it was something we loved and we wanted to do. And, that's a lot of work. That in itself is a lot of work. And then, so when you
Yeah.
go out to the track and sometimes aren't validated in that way, it could be disappointing and discouraging. But at the same time, that fire in me was strong, and it didn't stop me. Did it
Yeah.
have some nights where I was crying? Totally. But that's okay. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And, with that too, when you go through those hard days and those hard times, and then you get to go to the racetrack and you have such a great day, it makes it that much better. It really does.
Yes. Yeah, I completely agree. In every type of group or community that you are going to get into is going to be those naysayers, those, no matter what group you're in, you're going to have those people that don't want you there.
Haters
So,
hate.
yes,
They are.
exactly. So, you're doing a lot of driving. Do you have any, hobbies or things that you like to do on the side in your downtime?
Yeah, that's a great question too, because I really am. I'm 0 or 100. I like, my favorite pastime when I'm like home from like a long weekend or stint of, being on the road, is to literally just play Nat Geo and watch my dog. I mean, like, my dog is the National Geographic. Like, I will just sit there all day and play with my dog, and that's what brings me, I think, back down to earth. But if I'm not doing that, I am still an adventure seeker. Like, I love being out in nature. Where I grew up, like going down to the beach, or we have Ocotillo Wells is where I grew up going. I'm not sure if anyone's listening is familiar. That place has my heart. our desert playground.
Okay.
Love getting to go have a weekend out there and being in our side by sides, or even I have a Forerunner, and it's, oh my gosh, been so nice getting to be in air conditioned, not getting dirty on the trails. That's changed my life. It's the same thing. We go up to the mountains as well, and yeah, just being outdoors, being on a trail is my happy place.
Yeah. So do you off-road when you go to the mountains, or is it mainly hiking?
Both. Both.
Both.
I do. I love being on my feet too, but oh, yeah, the comfort of being in a nice vehicle that can handle the
Yeah.
terrain. Yeah, no, it was a big goal for me to be able to own a Forerunner and to be able to do that. So I've been having so much fun with it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I lost my question. Um,
Yeah, you good.
uh, so what is your vehicle preference? And you said you have a Forerunner, but do you prefer Toyota or Ford, or what is your preference?
It's changed, and it keeps changing because these companies keep changing. I have been a Toyota girly for a long time, but I grew up being a Ford girl. I My very first vehicle was an F-150. So yeah,
Okay.
I have a theme going of being in trucks, SUVs. Yeah, now being in Megalodon, it feels I'm right at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's always changing, always evolving. But you know what's funny? I like my next, which I feel like so many people, it's so hot and popular right now. But for like over 10 years, I've been like, one day I'm gonna have a Bronco. Like, and I'm not talking about the new Broncos. I wanna get an old
Old
girl.
vintage. Yep.
Yes. And yeah, I'm put my heart into it. And my boyfriend, actually, I'm gonna do a little plug for him. I met him at Monster Jam. He was my crew chief, and we're a little Monster Jam love story over here. And literally just I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's so cool. Like, he's gonna be my best friend. And about 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh no, I think there's more going on here. 2 years later, we're super happy, and it would be so cool to have a project with him and do something like that. So
Yeah.
that would be a dream.
Yeah. I'm a My dad works at the dealership, so I started there at 16,
Oh,
and I'm
nice.
still here at 29. And my husband was my manager when I started here at 16. So
Oh my god, that's a cool dealership love story right there. That
no,
yeah.
yeah, my dad's gonna interview me for my episode. My birthday lands on one of my episode days, so he's gonna do my interview.
Oh, that's so
So,
cool. Yeah, I
yeah,
know, and I feel like it's one common theme, and I love this too, is I see this a lot for females in the automotive world. Their dad most likely got them into it, and having
yeah,
that connection with your father is just, if you know,
yeah.
you know, right? It's such a special
If
thing, and I'm
Most of the
grateful for it.
time, those that I've interviewed, if they have family that have been in automotive, their dad is the one that got them into it.
Yeah,
Um, and then otherwise it's something that they just kind of landed they plopped into and they fell in love with.
yeah,
So, yeah,
and
but
then it's like
yeah.
once you're in for life too.
Oh, yeah,
That's the other
yeah.
thing I always hear, and I know I resonate with. It's yeah,
Well, and,
no
like,
escaping
if
it.
you look at my history, my uncle is a general manager here, my other uncle's a salesman, my dad is here, my great-grandfather owned a dealership, just
So
like
cool. It's in your
my
blood.
gr my yes, my uncle says that he sold his first car at the age of 6, working at his grandpa's car lot.
Stop. I
So
believe him.
it's oh, totally. He was training, telemarketers in high school, like, he can sell.
Yeah.
He's yeah, he's our
It's
general manager and
the DNA. It's just
yeah,
there. That's so cool.
but yeah, it's the family portion of it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, um, going from drag racing to monster truck driving, what did you need to do that?
It was, and I mean, to this day, still a learning curve because
Mhm.
two completely different entities of motorsports, two different kinds of drivings, vehicle, like everything is so different.
Yeah.
But for me, the way I looked at it was like, this is a challenge I know I can take on. This is, I want to expand out my resume in that way. And so going from drag racing, which was so natural for me, everything just came like and I probably because I grew up watching it more and being more involved in it, coming over to the Monster Jam world, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm turning that quick all the time. Oh my gosh, I just had to turn to get off the track when I was on my dragster. But yeah, no, it's so like intricate how much is going on inside the Monster Jam trucks, that you don't, and maybe outside looking in don't totally know, because we drive with our rear steer as well, which oh my gosh has been the coolest, best invention I think that was ever put inside a vehicle, because how we get these massive 12,000-pound trucks sometimes in these tiny arenas to cut these corners, it's because we have a rear motor that is turning the tires with our little toggle switch is all it is. It's like a little video game. So we're one hand, doing our front, one hand doing our rear, while also going back and down to shift, turn up switches. And like, especially once you're getting into freestyle or a trick competition where you're having to try and maneuver the truck into certain positions, pushing it off the obstacles, balancing it, catching it at the right times, you're using the brake as a clutch practically to, ease yourself in and out of these positions. And yeah, you're doing that fully strapped in and with a huge crowd around you. And it's intense, but it's
Yeah.
so fun. It is so fun. And I have people ask me like, what's crazier, drag racing or Monster Jam? And it's such a hard question to answer because they're just so different, where I like to say nothing will beat the adrenaline of a top fuel dragster. Getting to go over 300 miles per hour will always be the coolest thing I've ever done. But there is nothing like backflipping a 12,000-pound truck.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like,
You
it looks
ramming,
insane.
yeah, you're legitimately, approaching a brick wall, so to speak, of a ramp, that you're trusting the truck, you're trusting the ramp, the dirt, it's going to kick the right way it should and just swing you up and around. And yeah, that feeling is unlike any other.
Yeah. So I was kind of looking at your Instagram and I saw one of your videos where I think you were sideways and you had to kick yourself back up. And I was just like, what the heck? how how do you achieve, like, go from your side back up?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
no,
how do you do that?
and that's back to trusting the truck and being patient in these trucks is the biggest thing I've learned, is where it really pays off, because even though things are happening really quickly, you have to feel how the truck's responding in those situations, because you could say let's go this way, but if the truck's saying it wants to go another way, you have to be able to feel that and catch it. And it's within a few seconds of a time frame of a window you usually have of being like, okay, where are we going? What's it doing? And as soon as you feel it, you have to respond. And you have to be so quick on that. So that's where, hey, seat time definitely helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in those situations, it hurry up and wait, or I'm sorry, wait and hurry up. It's the opposite. You got to feel it out. And then as soon as you do, you got to be on it quick or else you're on your side.
Yep. So, let's see, who or what inspires you?
um, I always say my dad, because it is so true. He was the first one who did inspire me to get into drag racing. But deeper than that, too, my grandpa, his dad, who was the one who got my dad into it. Me and him had a really special relationship. He's since passed, but he was that person that like truly saw the fire in me and was like, you could do anything, just believe in yourself, and was like my biggest source of support, and in turn inspired me, because he, like my dad, he was a fan, and then it turned it into, he raced a super comp dragster, yeah, for those who
Okay.
are familiar, and that was a massive dream come true for my grandpa, who accomplished that later in his life and getting to do, but it just inspired me at such a young age that anything's possible. that if you have a
Mhm.
dream, go for it. And so it really starts with my family. As far as like other inspiration in the motorsports world goes, it was hard to find a driver that I looked up to at a young age that I connected with because there weren't a lot of girls out there. And I wanted to connect with a female. And I don't want to talk down on anyone, but there is one specific person that gets a lot of attention, but I just didn't connect with. And
Mm.
that was hard for me because I was just like, I don't see another me out there. And so that's where at that age too, I was like, I want to be someone that can inspire other people, that, can show they don't have to come from this certain background. And if they have the heart, like that's all that matters. And you could be yourself in the process doing it. Don't have to be the gearhead, or you don't have to be some people think they have to have such a hard edge in this industry, which you do. Once that visor's down, you got to be able to be laser focused. But I hated going to some of the tracks and seeing how people treated others. And I was like, no, if I'm doing this, I'm having fun, I'm being kind. We're gonna do this how I want to do this. And it's been a long windy road throughout that process because not everyone jives with that. But
Yeah.
no, I've forged my own path in that way. And since then, it's been really cool to see like younger generations who I've seen like that reached out to me when they first started their juniors, or now getting older and are still doing it and still doing their thing. Because I'm like, okay, that's where I feel like I've been able to do my job then,
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm part of a group, Monster Jam Mamas, and it's
Are
mostly
you? Oh, that's
mamas
awesome.
finding, like, the special toys, like the special edition toys.
Yeah.
But some of the posts are like, "Oh, my little girl's into Monster Jam. I know nothing about this. Please help." And so then you're, like, going in there going, "Okay, girl, you got it. Let's talk."
Yeah.
So, it's amazing because, especially with monster trucks, you're seeing a lot more of these little girls coming in because now you have, like, Sparkle Smash,
Yeah.
and, um, my boys were like, "Oh, wait, that's not a guy in Megalodon." And I was like, "No, that's a lady driving," and they're like, "Oh, mom, so could you do that?" I'm like,
Yeah, I can.
"Sure, sure."
Oh,
I haven't
I
done that yet.
Yeah, no, I love that you're saying that though, because since I've started with Monster Jam in the last few years, the amount of families I see come out with just their little girls is
Mhm.
so cool. I would say, truly about half.
Yeah,
It's not even just a boys thing anymore, and it's
yep.
evolved so much. And with Monster Jam, like you said, putting out Sparkle Smash, the pink unicorn truck, like
Oh,
it
yeah,
is so inviting now to everyone, and
yeah.
showing that the motorsports community isn't just black and white. It could be colorful and glittery too.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh, well, and even, like, Gravedigger seems a little bit more boy focused, but Gravedigger or, Megalodon can go either way.
Yeah.
It's in the ocean, it's in the sea,
Yeah.
it's a shark, or if it's a Megalodon, you know? It can
Exactly.
go either way, but,
And grateful to be a part of that for sure, because
yeah.
this is where it starts, right? Like this kind of good
Mhm.
change. So
So, back to the Bronco, like you said, it's getting bigger. We've seen it here at the Ford dealership. Bronco's huge. Have you heard of Bronco Off Rodeo?
I haven't.
So if you buy a Bronco, you get a complimentary ticket to go to Bronco Off Rodeo, which is a all-day intensive where you go off-roading with a Bronco, with one of their provided Broncos, and learn how to use the features in the Bronco off-roading.
That is so
So,
cool.
like
That
when to engage your rear locker, like all of those little things.
That is so incredible. I can't believe I'm just learning this, but talk
Yeah.
about once again just such good change coming into the world. Because
Mhm.
for those who like say male or female, doesn't matter, have an interest in off-roading but don't know where to start,
Yeah.
they give you the actual tools, the playground to walk you through it. That is so awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
In fact, some of the teachers at the off rodeo will
Yeah.
actually ask, "So what do you have? Do you have the rear locker on yours? Do you have, what
Yeah.
equipment is on your vehicle, and they can actually cater the teaching to that. So, like, hey,
Yeah.
you don't have a front locker on your vehicle, so don't engage your front locker here. Instead, do this to get you over the hill that all these people with front lockers are getting over. Um, just catering the teaching to the
Yeah.
different capabilities of the Bronco, and it's
Yeah.
giving women a more empowerment to join. We
Yes.
would go to Supercell, which is Bronco Super Celebration,
Uh-huh.
um, and you would not believe how many women are joining, and they're like, "This is my Bronco. This is my baby. It's not my husband's," or they're
Yeah.
single and they're like, "This is mine, not anyone else's. I bought this with my own money, and I'm taking this off-roading, and I'm doing the thing."
Oh,
It's so fun to see.
what a time to be a woman and be in the
Oh, yeah.
motorsports world because I love this so much. And it made me think of too something I did experience in my beginning years, especially in drag racing, how I experienced women who were like, no more women allowed. Like you're not like literally
Yeah.
it was nasty. It was and there's room for everybody. There
Yeah.
is. And especially, I mean, just in the enthusiast world, like,
Yeah.
absolutely, I wanna see more. Like, I love what Rebel Rally does, so amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, just more of that and to have that inclusivity through Ford where they're
Yeah.
making it, yeah, so easy and that, like, so yeah, like,
Like,
streamlining you to the trails. Like, we're
oh,
gonna
yeah.
walk through this, like
Yeah. In fact, we went to the 60th anniversary birthday bash that they did in Michigan, Silver Lake Dunes, and there was a mom with her kids, like, her and
just
her kids
yeah,
in their Bronco. But then on our way out, I saw this mom, like, it was obviously a woman in
yeah,
a pink side by side with her 3 kids. I was like, "That is her side by side." Like,
it is.
I love this because it's her and her 3 kids. They all have their helmets on. They are ready to go rock these dunes, and it looks so funny or so
Oh,
fun.
yeah,
But it was
and
like, "That's pink." It's
and
amazing.
And like you were saying, like, earlier with this, is like, it's just so empowering. It is. It's, and which, hey, maybe not pink's everybody's color, every girl's color, but like it's empowering for those who it is to be like, oh, like I could go do that. I could be that bold. Like, yes, let's go. And I just love that yeah, it's so cool to see how much it's changed in my 30 years of living and being around the motorsports world.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing, how we're, you know, moving forward,
Yeah.
um, into the community. So, how do you think can we encourage women to get more into this community?
This right here, I love getting to do this. I love getting to talk about it and share, my stories and, whether it like connects or it can inspire in any way. This is what it's about. And I know you mentioned social media. I am so happy when people like message me on social media and ask me
Yeah.
these questions because I want to help and I want to, encourage and see more women chasing their dreams no matter what it looks like, whether it's in the motorsports community or it isn't. And let's get real though, so many women have a drive and a passion to be behind the wheel and to, experience that kind of freedom, whether it's building up their own vehicles or just being behind the wheel of a vehicle. And so I think this right here, what you're doing, Sarah, is so incredible. So
Thank
hey,
you.
round of applause to you because this is where the magic's happening.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So have you thought about competing in Rebel?
Oh, I have. I totally have. The schedule the last 2 years, it just totally didn't work for me, but it's
Yeah,
like one day
one
I'm
day.
gonna be there, absolutely.
Yeah. So that community is wonderful. I've heard so many stories of camaraderie. It's not it's yes, it's a competition, but all
Yeah,
of a sudden, oh, hey, they're stopped on the side of the road with a tire off. I'm going to stop and help them.
yeah,
Um, One of the stories I heard, they were on the side of the road, tire off,
uh-huh,
and they were struggling to get, back up and out, and it was coming to the end of the day, and 3 teams stopped to help, and all 4 rolled in at the same time. Like, amazing.
That's winning. That
That's
is
that's
winning,
Rebel.
right? Like,
That's
yes,
Rebel. It's women coming together to compete, but also to uplift one another.
yes, yes.
So,
Oh,
if you get a chance, go for it.
oh,
It's so
I'm
much
like,
to hear from.
you got me so excited about it. I'm probably gonna be looking it up after we're done here again, but
Um,
yeah, definitely
if
one day.
you if you watch from let's see, oh, not next Thursday. That's my birthday, but the after that,
Uh-huh.
my episodes are Rebel centered. So I'm doing a Rebel
Okay.
series leading up to Rebel, and I have Emily Miller, the creator of
Yeah,
Rebel,
yeah.
for the last week before it starts.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put notifications on for that for sure.
Totally do it. But yeah, so let's see. Oh, that was my other question. Did you do like Monster Jam University, or were there classes that you had to take to get into driving?
Monster Jam University is legit a thing. Yes, and I went to it. Oh my gosh, it's like it sounds like it's more than what it is, but it's really their training program. It is, but
Okay.
it's so incredible because it is out in Paxton, Illinois, in the middle of some corn and bean fields on Tom Mentz property. And for those who don't know Tom Mentz, he is one of the most famous Monster Jam drivers. He throughout the 80s and 90s was Gravedigger's biggest competitions into the 2000s when Monster Jam like really blew up. And he just recently retired, but man, this guy knows everything about Monster Jam trucks, and he knows everything about being inclusive with fans and engagements. And so you do learn everything, and you go out there and you spend 3 days in his backyard going through the basics. And it's
Okay.
yeah, no, it literally I remember the first day it was like, no, we're just doing whole shots. Like we're not doing anything. We're just getting used to the truck and used to where the shifting gears are, comfortable, how it all feels. So no, they really have such a great program of leading into everything. So that's day one, but then my program, we did 3 weeks of this. So we went out for different weeks for 3 days each week. And by the last day, I was doing full shows. I was,
Okay.
what they would do, they'd run you through of like, okay, you're going to go out and do your little intro lap and now racing and now two wheel skills. And so it's crazy how quickly it, accelerates because it does. And by the end, you're like, oh my gosh, am I even ready for this? But no, they absolutely give you all the tools. And so you go from the track to then inside the little shop office where we record everything on iPads, go over our footage,
Okay.
what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And, get a few Tom stories in between, which were my favorite part. And, it was really, I mean, even though I didn't get a cap and gown, it was the coolest university I'll ever go to.
Awesome. So, what is your most memorable oopsie, or like it wasn't funny then, but it's kind of funny now?
Um, oh, I literally immediately knew. So my first year, we were in Calgary, which is a big rodeo arena up in Canada. And I I was feeling too good. I was feeling so confident. But being my first year, I now look back and was like, "Ooh, girl, you were a little too confident." But this was the beginning of freestyle. I thought I had out this whole planned out routine of like, okay, I'm gonna hit this, and I'm gonna go try hit that, and then hit this, and then a big jump here. Um, before I got to do anything, I was out turning a corner and I looked out to the crowd because I was like, wow, like what an awesome big crowd. I clipped my left rear tire off in an obstacle and just rolled out before even doing anything. Oh, oh man. It was embarrassing. It was really embarrassing. But you know what? We learned and I laugh about it now. And it just shows
Yeah.
we're all human after all.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
have you always driven Megalodon, or have you driven others?
I've only been in Megalodon, which I'm like pinching myself, crossing fingers, because Monster Jam is known to kind of move drivers around and do things we don't have a say as a driver. So I'm really hoping I get to stay in Megalodon. It's been a really good thing so far. I think, yeah, they see that as well over up in the offices. So we'll see. I'm open to, being in a new truck because I think that would be cool as well to be in a different entity. But yeah, I am very much like I mentioned, I'm from Southern California. Going to the beach is a big thing for me. Like, I love the ocean. I love sharks. Like, Shark Week is a celebration, a holiday in my household. I legit have a container full of Shark Week decorations. So no, it's been crazy for me, like how perfect it's been.
Yeah.
So I hope I get to stay with Megalodon, but if I don't, I'll be okay.
Okay. So you said you kind of Monster Jam tells you where you're going. I saw like Brianna is Mahone, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Like she was in Scooby Doo, and then she was in oh, what was it? Something else, and then she's in Bailey Circuit now.
Yeah, because I loved her in Whiplash. That was such a great
Oh
truck.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now she's in Bailey's Circuit, the circus truck. And yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm really excited for her because she's so good at embodying and like bringing new brands to life. And she's just
Mhm.
such a ferocious driver. And I mean that like in such a fierce way. She's incredible. So
Yeah.
it's cool to see her bringing this new truck to life right now.
Yeah. Because like I said in the Facebook group, they're like, "What is this monster truck?" Like, there's not much out there about it, and all of a sudden we're seeing these toys out here. So what is this monster truck?
Yeah.
Um, so like I did some digging into it. I was like, "Oh, this is what it is. Here you go, mamas.
Yeah.
Here's the information."
I love that you've become like, yeah, the Monster Jam mama, like teacher. Like everyone comes to you and
You
you're
know
like, okay,
more than I do, though.
yeah. You're like, let me catch you up. Well, hey, if you need an inside source, please feel free to come to me if you have any questions.
Awesome. Yeah. So, but that is interesting that because I thought like Gravedigger was a brand, Megalodon's a brand, like they're all brands, but it's Monster Jam that owns all of it. So
Correct.
you work for Monster Jam, they tell you which one you're gonna be in, and
Yeah,
that's what you drive.
exactly. You said
That's
it
all.
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and which, as a motorsports driver, it's been so nice to go from trying, like, I mean, I was up to me bringing home any money if I got to bring home any money when I was driving drag racing, because a lot of the time all the money just went back into the car. Parts broke, that was on us. We had to, fit that bill, and we were the ones spending all night at the track fixing, doing everything, where with Monster Jam everyone is a paid contributor to the whole entity of Monster Jam. And so I get to be a paid driver and I get to show up and just focus on my driving, and I don't have to focus about bringing in brands and, oh, if I broke this, I'm not going to be able to afford it, or, make the next event. And, no, yeah, it's really
Okay.
nice in that aspect because everyone is such an important moving part, and it's
Yeah.
working together. It's, hey, I don't even know how many years Monster Jam's been going now. I should know that, but it's been going on for a long time successfully. So they built something good. They have.
Yeah. That is awesome. So that's like something that like doing my research, like
Yeah.
I couldn't find an answer to that. Truly thought that they were each an entity that joined Monster Jam for tours and whatnot. So that's actually really cool that they
Which
do
I
that.
will say, I know, because I'm like, I don't want to give you total like false information with that, because there are exceptions. So Feld owns, which it's Feld Entertainment that owns Monster Jam. Feld
Okay.
Entertainment also owns Disney on Ice, the circus, and a lot of these other entertainment and shows, events. And so Monster Jam, and they also own Supercross. They do Supercross too.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
yeah, their hands are everywhere. It's really cool. But they also, on top of owning the specific brands and trucks, we do invite other monster trucks to come join Monster Jam. So there are other tours and entities out there where people, it's usually families, they have their own family team. And like, for example, Zach Gardner in Wildside, he won our
Okay.
world finals champion he's been doing great. Him and his dad, they are an independent team, and so he has Wildside, his truck, that is his, he owns that. And then so Monster Jam invites them to come in and join us and compete against us, and they get a certain buy if he wins. Like, he gets his bonus if he wins. But for us, we're getting paid no matter what. There are no bonuses.
But that's really cool that they invite others in to come compete, 'cause I'm sure that's huge for them.
Oh yeah. No, and that's what makes it really cool for those who are like diehard monster truck fans who know that, there are different entities where, you look at like football, right? Like there's the NFL and then all the other little leagues. Well, Monster Jam is NFL, right? It is. Everyone knows Monster Jam. And so for, all these other guys to get the call to come and join Monster Jam, it's a big opportunity. It is.
Yeah. So that is awesome. Thank you for that info.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's been so much fun talking to you.
I know.
Um, yeah. So coming to the close of this, anything that you want to mention or say on your end?
I'm so grateful that you messaged me and I got to do this with you today. And truly, if you have any other questions, you've got a direct connect now. But I mean that to anyone who's watching. I truly am a grateful, grateful girl who's made the dreams come true that I've made come true. And I want to share that knowledge. I want to share that inspiration. I want to share that encouragement. So please feel free to reach out to me in any way that I could help you. I would love to, because whether, talking about women in motorsports, I want to see women empowered. And whether it's male or female, I want to see everyone empowered to be doing, what they feel called to be doing. And I know there's a lot of us in the motorsports community who feel called to be here. So definitely just want to continue to spread that love.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, and we
Oh,
will see you later.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another week of All Women Driven. Join us next time where we look into the past to drive women forward in the future in automotive. Bye.